It's one of the most viral guitar solos of all time, but not for a good reason. That Nick Jonas guitar solo, if you've seen it, and we'll play a brief clip of it for you, you know what I'm talking about. It was very unfortunate. Nick Jonas seems like a great guy. He's trying to rip a solo during the ACM Awards in 2016 when he's performing with Kelsea Ballerini. And he says in the middle of this performance, he actually blanked out and really messed up the solo. And he said that the reaction was so harsh to his playing that he actually had to go to therapy for it. If you remember at the time, this was extremely viral. And he's talking in a brand new interview about how that really affected him personally. And he really practiced hard for this. He seems like a nice guy. And it was just something that affected him very negatively. But if you've seen the video, it's just an unfortunate incident. I actually think he's a pretty talented musician. I don't know if he's some guitar virtuoso or not, but it certainly does make sense that his mind blanked out and he was missing all sorts of notes. And this is what he had to say. But before we continue, if you haven't subscribed yet to Rockfeed, would really appreciate it. You're supporting independent rock news, and I'm grateful for all those subscribers out there. And also, we just declared a winner to our last giveaway. They're going with 4 VIP weekend passes to a festival of their choice. And now we have a new giveaway for you. And one of these festivals on your screen, the winner can pick which festival they go to. They get 4 VIP weekend passes. It's a world-class experience. I just got back from Welcome to Rockville, got to see Pantera, got to see Hardy, got to see Slipknot, Tool, Deftones. Just mind-blowing performances and a mind-blowing festival experience. You don't want to miss it. You can enter to win. The link in the description. And yeah, I think you have a pretty good chance of winning. So here's what Nick Jonas had to say about that really unfortunate slip-up that he dealt with during those 2016 ACMs that he said just horrified him and led him going to therapy. The Jonas Brothers appeared on the Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard podcast, and he said the worst moment on stage for him was during the 2016 ACM Awards when he joined Kelsea Ballerini on stage for a duet version of her hit song, Peter Pan. He said, then there was another time during a really tragic guitar solo debacle that happened on live TV. In retrospect, I can kind of laugh about how big I thought it was, but it did travel more than I wish it would have, and it did cause me to go to therapy. He said, Kelsea and I had a couple of performances together, and this was one of them. I came out of my thing, rehearsed it a million times. I'm feeling really confident about it, not really thinking about it like a thing that's going to be problematic. He went on and said, I started off, it was fine, and as I walked towards her, I just went completely blank, and I hit a wrong note and blacked out basically, and clocked that. It was wrong, and I couldn't stop. Till this day, and hours after unpacking it, I can't really figure out exactly what happened, but I was rushed to a car and rushed to a plane right after it. I looked at my manager and said, I think that was bad. I was like in shock kinda. It was really a traumatic moment that shaped the pressure I put on myself to be perfect and to always be on. He said that he's grown to a place to put not so much pressure on himself, but at the time, he considered this to be his worst moment. And at the time, I think the Jonas Brothers were maybe much more polarizing than they are now. Again, he seems like a nice guy. I've never really seen anything from him where I'm like, oh, he's an asshole or anything. But they were these child stars that were in people's faces all the time back then. And you've seen this with acts comparatively in rock, which, you know, I don't consider the Jonas Brothers to be a rock band, but, you know, with Nickelback and Limp Bizkit, and sometimes when bands become overexposed publicly, they might get a lot of hate. So it seems like that happened with him, and that's a bummer. The clip is, I think you can laugh about it now. I think he's a talented musician. He's had a great career. And again, if you look at I know, oh, it's the Jonas Brothers, he thinks they're good musicians, but if you look at them, they are actually objectively great singers. And they've had a very successful career. I just respect people who are talented enough to reach large audiences. And so, you know, it's a bummer of a situation. And if you look at it through that context, it was presented at the time like this guy's trying to play and he's confidently trying to shred. But, you know, if that was me or if that was you in that situation and you're up on stage, you cannot stop what you're doing. They say the show must go on. You have to confidently proceed even if you're messing it up, unfortunately. So that's a bummer that happened, and it sucks that he kind of felt, so much pressure and everything like that. And these artists are human too. So, shout out to Nick Jonas, the Joe Bros, just really out here doing it big. And that was it was very meme worthy. It is objectively funny. It was a pretty bad guitar solo. I don't know if you've all seen that, but it was at the time extremely viral. But again, you look at this through this context and you go, okay, the guy, everyone has an off performance, even some of your favorite musicians. So it's all good. By the way, you can join the conversation over on Rockfeed's Instagram. We post all kinds of bands over there, just numerous daily updates about your favorite bands. I really appreciate it if some of these YouTube folks came over to the gram and hung out. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. Thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you for subscribing. You have no idea how much I appreciate you all. And I'll see you soon.